My girlfriend texted, "Pay me $5,000 or I'll send your messages to your boss." I replied, "Send them." I screenshotted the threat and called HR before she could spin it. By day 3, her friends were calling me cruel. 2 weeks later, she walked into my office lobby smiling. Original post. I'm Ethan, 33M, living in Austin, Texas. I work as a product operations lead at a mid-sized software company. It's the kind of job where you spend your day translating chaos into checklists, and you learn fast that receipts beat stories every time. My girlfriend was Olivia, 30F. Olivia was charming in public, big smile, quick compliments, the type of person who calls strangers love and somehow makes it sound natural. At home, she had a different side, not loud, not explosive, just strategic. She'd ask for things in a sweet tone, then punish you with silence when you said no. We'd been together a little over 2 years. We moved in together 8 months ago into my apartment. The lease was in my name. Olivia contributed when she could, which usually meant groceries and daycare, while I handled rent and utilities. I didn't keep score because I thought we were building something. The last few months, though, love started coming with conditions. If I loved her, I'd share my phone passcode. If I loved her, I'd stop following certain people. If I loved her, I'd be transparent about everything. I'm not naive. I know couples share things. But the vibe with Olivia wasn't sharing. It was access. Like she wanted the ability to reach into my life whenever she felt insecure. I kept my boundary simple. I'm loyal. I'm committed. But my phone, my accounts, and my work stuff stay mine. She'd smile, say she understood, and try again later with different words. The breakup didn't happen because of one huge fight. It happened because I finally got tired of being managed. It was a Thursday night. I got home late from work, tired, brain still buzzing. Olivia was on the couch scrolling, not really watching the show. I kissed her, asked how her day was, and she hit me with a bright little, "We need to talk." That's how it always started. She said, "I don't feel safe with you." I asked, "Safe how?" She said, "You hide things." I blinked. "What am I hiding?" She waved her hand like the answer was obvious. "Your thoughts, your opinions, you vent to your friends, you vent at work, you have that whole other world I'm not allowed in." And then she said the part that made my stomach go cold. "I saw your messages." I didn't move. "What messages?" Olivia held up my old tablet. The one I used for travel, the one that was logged into my messaging app. I hadn't touched it in months. It was sitting in the drawer in my desk. Apparently, she'd been charging it and checking it. She said, "You talk about your boss like he's an idiot. You talk about your coworkers. You say you hate meetings. You say you feel trapped." I stared at her. Not because it was shocking, because it was private, it was venting, it wasn't illegal, it wasn't cheating, it wasn't some dark secret. It was a person blowing off steam. But the fact she was reading it told me something else. She wasn't looking for connection. She was looking for leverage. I said, calm, "You went through my messages." She shrugged. "Don't make this about that. Make it about why you don't trust me." I felt my chest get quiet, that clean clarity again. I said, "I don't want to do this anymore." Olivia laughed like I was being dramatic. "Ethan, stop, you're tired." I said, "No, I'm done." Her face tightened. "So you're leaving me?" I nodded. "Yes." She stood up fast. "After everything I've done for you." I didn't argue. I didn't list rent payments. I didn't remind her she moved into my place. I just said, "I'll pack your things. We'll do this clean." She stared at me for a long second, then her expression shifted into something colder. "Be careful," she said. That was the first time she said it out loud, like a warning. I didn't respond. I went to the bedroom and slept on the edge of the bed, fully clothed, phone on the nightstand, waiting for the next move. The next move came at 9:14 a.m. the next morning while I was in a work huddle. My phone buzzed. "Olivia, pay me $5,000 or I'll send your messages to your boss." I read it twice. Then a third time, slower, like I was making sure I wasn't hallucinating. A number, a threat, my career as collateral. Then my phone buzzed again. "Olivia and your HR and your team, don't test me." I didn't feel rage. I felt something more useful. Focus. I typed one line, send them, then I screenshotted everything. I didn't block her immediately. I wanted the next messages too. People like Olivia don't stop at one threat. They keep talking when they think they have power. Sure enough, she did. Olivia, wow, so you don't care if you lose your job. Olivia, that's how little I mean to you. Olivia, you have 1 hour. I took screenshots of every line and started my day like I was handling a work incident, because I was. First call HR, not to confess anything, to control the narrative. I told them, I'm dealing with a personal situation. Someone is threatening to send private messages to my manager and the company to damage my reputation. I have the texts. I'm filing a police report today. I wanted you to be aware before you receive anything. HR didn't gasp. They didn't shame me. The rep, Rachel, just said, send me the screenshots. We'll document. If anything comes in, forward it. We'll handle it. Second call, my manager, Mark. I kept it short. If you get weird emails or screenshots about me today, please don't engage. It's an ex trying to retaliate. HR has it. Mark said, copy. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Third step, police report. I went on my lunch break, walked into the station, and told the desk officer the simple truth. My ex is attempting to extort me for money. Here are the texts. They took a statement. They gave me a report number. They told me to keep all messages and not meet her alone. Then I called a locksmith. Because while my job mattered, my home mattered too. Olivia still had a key. That evening, while she was out, I packed her things. Not violently, not petty, clean. Her clothes went into the suitcases she brought when she moved in. Shoes into bins. Toiletries into a tote. Her ring light, hair tools, and the decorative stuff she'd placed everywhere into boxes. I took quick photos before sealing each box. At 8:40 p.m., the locksmith rekeyed the deadbolt and reset the keypad code. $190. Receipt saved. I moved her boxes into a small storage unit down the street, 5x10 climate controlled. $86 for the month, $19 lock fee, gate code assigned. I paid for 2 months upfront because I wanted time. Time to keep this quiet and organized. Then I emailed Olivia one time. Your belongings are in storage. Pickup must be scheduled through the office. Do not contact my workplace again. No insults, no anger, just boundaries. I went to sleep and again I slept. Like my body had been waiting for me to stop negotiating. Update 1, 4 days later, Olivia didn't take the loss of control quietly. She took it like a challenge. Day 2, I got added to a group chat called Be a Man. 5 numbers I didn't recognize, all her friends, all loud. Mia, why would you threaten a woman with homelessness? Ava, you owe her for wasting her time. Jordan, pay her and move on. Chloe, you're ruining her life. I read it, took one screenshot from my file and replied once. She tried to extort me. I filed a police report. Do not contact me again. Then I left the chat and blocked everyone. An hour later, Olivia used a new number. Olivia, you think the police will save you. Olivia, pay me and I'll delete everything. Olivia, you have until tonight. I didn't reply. I forwarded it to the officer listed on my report. That's it. That evening, my building manager, Carlos, called me. Hey, your guest is downstairs saying you locked her out and stole her things. I said, I moved her belongings into storage and offered pickup. She's not on the lease. Carlos asked, do you have proof? I emailed him 3 things. The lease page with my name, my storage receipt, and the extortion text. Carlos replied, understood. We'll treat her as a trespasser if she returns. Unexpected ally. Quiet, professional, exactly what I needed. Olivia's next move was my mother. My mom, Susan, called me and said, Olivia called me crying. She says you kicked her out and you're trying to ruin her. I said, I'm sending you one screenshot. I sent the extortion text. That was it. Mom went silent for a beat, then said, oh. Honey, no, I'm blocking her. That was the first time I felt my shoulders drop in days. Olivia showed up at the storage facility the next morning without an appointment. The office manager, Denise, called me. She's here demanding access to the unit. She says it's hers. I told Denise, I'll email you the authorization rules. She needs ID and pickup has to be scheduled. Denise said, already told her. She's yelling. I said, if she won't leave, call the non-emergency line. 10 minutes later, Denise texted me. She left. Sorry you're dealing with this. Another unexpected ally. Another adult in the room. Meanwhile, Olivia tried to move the blackmail goalposts. She sent a request through a payment app, $5,000 note. Fix this. I declined it. Screenshot. Saved. Then she sent $2,500 note, last offer. Declined. Then $500 note, don't make me do it. Declined. Because if you pay once, you pay forever. That's what blackmail is. By day 4, she actually did what she threatened. Rachel from HR emailed me. We received an email with screenshots. We've documented and deleted. Do not worry. I asked, were they damaging? Rachel replied, they're mostly you venting about meetings. This is not a policy issue. We're treating it as harassment. Security has been informed. Olivia's bomb was basically me saying, I'm tired of pointless meetings. Cool. She just proved she'd commit a crime to weaponize my annoyance at calendar invites. Update 2. About 2.5 weeks later, 2 weeks of silence would have been too simple. Olivia needed contact like oxygen. It started with a new angle, shame. She posted vague stories online about being betrayed and men who pretend to be good. Friends commented hearts. People who didn't know me acted like they did. Then she escalated back to direct pressure. On a Wednesday morning, my receptionist messaged me. There's a woman in the lobby saying she's your partner and she has something urgent. My stomach didn't drop this time, it just went flat. I went down with my coworker Jason because witnesses matter. Olivia was sitting in the lobby like she owned the building. Hair perfect, outfit sharp, calm face like she'd rehearsed it. She stood up and said softly, Ethan. Can we talk? I kept my voice neutral. No, you need to leave. She leaned in a little like she was offering a deal. I can make this go away. I said, you already made it a police matter. Her expression flickered. You're really going to do this? I said, you did it when you threatened me. Security escorted her out. She didn't scream. She wanted to look reasonable. That was her new tactic. 2 hours later, I got a new email in my work inbox from a spoofed address that looked close to HR. Subject: Employee Conduct Review. It claimed I was under investigation and needed to provide a written statement about harassment allegations. Rachel called me immediately. That isn't from us. Are you okay? I told her. It's Olivia again. I'm adding it to the report. Rachel said, forward it. We'll lock down your profile and alert IT. So I did. That night, Olivia tried the final offer move again. Olivia, $3,000 and I disappear. Olivia, I'll even sign something. Olivia, you can't stop me otherwise. I didn't respond. I forwarded it to my attorney. Yes, I hired one. Not because I wanted revenge, because I wanted an ending. I paid a $600 retainer to a local attorney, Angela, to send a cease and desist letter. Certified mail. Signature required. It listed the police report number, the extortion texts, the workplace visit, and the spoofed HR email attempt. It demanded no further contact and warned that continued behavior would trigger a protective order request. The letter got delivered 2 days later. Olivia's response was immediate. New number. One line. Olivia, you think a letter scares me. No threats, just ego. I didn't answer. I let the next step answer. I filed for a protective order. Angela helped me package everything, screenshots, HR emails, the police report, the storage documentation, the building manager note, and the lobby incident report from security. While all of this was happening, my personal life got quieter in a way I didn't expect. I started sleeping through the night. I started eating real meals again. I started running in the mornings. And yes, I went on one date. Her name was Emma, a friend of a friend, easy conversation, no tests, no pressure. When I told her I was dealing with harassment from an ex, she didn't ask for juicy details. She just said, that sounds exhausting, I'm sorry. Normal felt almost unreal. Olivia found out anyway, because of course she did. She texted from a new number, must be nice replacing me so fast. I didn't reply, because I wasn't replacing her. I was returning to myself. Final update: about 2 months later, the hearing was on a Tuesday at 9:00 a.m. I showed up with a folder so thick it barely fit in my bag. Not drama. Evidence. Printouts of the extortion texts, screenshots of her payment demands. The police report number. The cease and desist delivery confirmation. HR's documentation emails. The spoofed HR email. Door camera screenshots of her showing up at my building. The storage receipts. Olivia arrived 10 minutes late wearing a conservative blazer and a soft expression like she'd never threatened anyone in her life. Her attorney, yes, she brought one, opened with, "My client just wants closure and her belongings." The judge looked at me first. "Have you offered her a way to retrieve her belongings?" I said, "Yes, Your Honor, through the storage office with ID and scheduled pickup. She refused unless I paid her." Then the judge turned to Olivia. "Did you text him, 'Pay me $5,000 or I'll send your messages to your boss'?" Olivia tried to smile. I was emotional. I didn't mean it as a threat. The judge didn't smile back. "It reads like a threat." He reviewed the evidence, asked about the workplace visit, and asked why she spoofed an HR email. Her attorney tried to reframe it as a misunderstanding. The judge cut him off and said something simple that I still remember: blackmail is not a misunderstanding. The order was granted. 1 year. No contact. No workplace visits. Stay 300 feet away from my home and office. Property exchange only through a third party. I didn't feel victorious. I felt relieved, like the air got lighter. A week later, Olivia's sister came to the storage facility with written authorization and ID. Denise handled the pickup. Boxes, signatures, done, no scene. After that, things got boring. My manager thanked me for being proactive. HR told me they appreciated the heads up because it made the whole situation easier to contain. IT upgraded some filters on my account. At work, I got promoted to senior ops lead a month later. Not because of the drama, because I kept performing while it tried to shake me. My boss said, "You're steady." I took it as the compliment it is. Emma and I kept seeing each other. Slow, healthy, equal, no pressure, no threats disguised as love. Here's the lesson I learned the hard way: love isn't leverage. Love doesn't hold your life hostage for cash or compliance. The moment someone tries to control you with fear, it stops being a relationship and becomes a negotiation with a hostage. I stopped negotiating. If you've ever been threatened or manipulated by someone you loved, tell me in the comments what you would have done. And if you want more stories like this, please subscribe, like, and share. And let me know if you think I handled it right.